3, 2, 1, start. Sir, the problems of the company audit. The difficulties experienced by the junior auditors and the complaints of the audit profession in relation to these companies are before the government, and a comprehensive amending bill was introduced in this house in 1992, which was referred to the Select Committee of both houses of Parliament, in which I happened to be a member, where elaborate evidence was recorded not only from the chambers of commerce and industry, but also from the chartered accountants and also others who had the special knowledge of the working of the companies. All these aspects were considered, and the committee came to the conclusion of fixing the number of companies an auditor personally or a firm of auditors could audit be at 20. Therefore, the mover could have withdrawn this bill and introduced another after the amendments to the company law came into force. One of the reasons advanced by the mover is that the special concept should be introduced into auditing, by which perhaps he means that there should be dispersal of audit work among the thousands of members of the audit profession. I respectfully submit that this is not possible. No work can be disturbed because some auditors have little work or are starving and some work should be given to them. This is not possible. An auditor, like a lawyer or a doctor, should have a reputation which would enable him to get the work of audit of a company. Naturally, companies would select auditors or firms of auditors who have a reputation in their profession. Therefore, it is not possible to introduce the social concept in auditing in fixing the number of companies. A firm of auditors should be allowed to audit under the Act para. His second point is that monopoly should be broken. The cry against monopoly is common nowadays, that there should be no monopoly houses. There should be no monopoly and all that. If an auditor has attracted the audit work of a number of companies to himself, how can you say it is a monopoly? When an auditor has no work because he has not earned a reputation in the field, how can there be a complaint that he is not occupied? This happens in every profession. Only a few lawyers get the work. Work is concentrated among a few doctors. How can the others in profession complain? Para. Then there is the cry for nationalization of audit. The mover mentioned it while moving the bill. How can there be nationalization of a profession? Have we thought of nationalization of the legal profession or the medical profession? It is not possible. Can the state maintain a panel of lawyers? The state do appoint lawyers in case where a client is not able to engage a lawyer. But no government, no state can maintain a panel of lawyers, doctors, and so on to look to the needy. It is not a workable proposition. Nationalization may be a good slogan, but it does not work in relation to certain professions in which the success of an individual depends on his own merit. Para. Another point urged by the mover was that an auditor should be changed every 2 or 3 years. His main complaint is that an auditor or firm of auditors auditing the accounts of a particular company for a number of years may act in collusion with the firm and may not do the auditing faithfully or correctly, that he may be hand in glove with the company and its directors. In such cases, where a chartered accountant is found to be guilty of misconduct, there are provisions in the Chartered Accountants Act under which action can be taken against him. It takes 2 to 3 years for an auditor to understand the working of a company. All these questions were gone into the joint committee in great detail, and then it was found that no limit could be put. Though the number of companies an auditor could audit could be limited, the period during which he should be allowed to audit a company was not found to be capable of limitation as feasible, and that was why it was rejected. Another objection taken by the mover was that all the auditors are in the metropolitan areas. Necessarily, they should be from the metropolitan areas. They should know the working of companies. How can an auditor residing in a small town whose only business is to audit the accounts of small businessmen for sales tax purposes or for the purposes of other commercial taxes, be entrusted with the work of auditing a company's accounts. It is a complicated affair. It is not possible. It is only in metropolitan cities that the auditors could carry on their profession. They get the whole time experience of accounts of the companies. About costing also, I think the company law board can order an inquiry into the cost of production in a company. I think all those provisions have been made after elaborate discussion.